too much along this barbed wire fence. Okay, there's some good shelter here. Good view of the runway. Seems pretty dry too. Lots of trees for the hammock. That's what I like to see. So I got my sleeping bag. It's in a garbage bag, so it looks less suspicious. It looks like I'm just littering instead. But the wind is gusty. Probably 12 knots here. In the woods, it should be a lot more calm. And I've got to get out of this rain. I've got a big sleeping bag today because I don't want to be cold out here, and I'm already starting to get a little wet. I'm going to set up here between these two trees. There's a lot of these little branches in the way, but that's okay. It'll give me more stealth. I'm really excited to get under this tarp. Sounds like another airplane taking off, so we'll check that out. Okay. This is pretty good. It'll keep me pretty dry and really hidden. I'm going to put everything into this hammock, zip it up. I'm going to check out the little airport lounge because, believe it or not, they got one. We'll do a moderate stealth test here as well. So not far away from here. Doesn't have that much of an appearance to it. There is a road right on that side there. And of course the airport is right there. And from here, yeah, you got to be pretty much there before you can see anything like that. Looks great to me. This video is a little plain, so it might not take off, but we're just having fun tonight. That restaurant / lounge is all the way across the runway, so there's no shortcut across that. So I got to kind of brave the rain here. The wind is really bad once you're out of those woods, so I can't wait to get to the airport. And just about there.
You're right there?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks. Right, that was a good way to warm up. I'm going to hit the restroom here because of the P factor. I'm going to head back out to my spot in the woods. Due to all the music playing, I was not able to really film any noise in there, but had a beer or two, watched a few planes, taking off and landing. They got the landing lights on now, which they seem to only do when there's a plane landing, so there could be something coming soon. I think they're trying to save electricity or something. Fine, I'll walk in the mud. Oh no. My famous cluster knot came undone. So, gotta retie that. Gonna check on everything, make sure nothing's too soaked. Things don't seem bad at all. Kept the sleeping bag in this garbage bag. That was already in a compression bag, so that's good and dry. Inside of the hammock, there's a little moisture, but it's so windy that should dry it off real fast. Now I can feel the thing sagging quite a bit, so I want to keep the hammock low because the lower it is, the stealthier it is. This will be all right tonight. My head's going to be at this end, so I really want to pay attention to the cord line of the hammock. And right now it's slanting down. It's looking a little better. That's one of the less obvious shelters I've ever done. And I've done some pretty obvious ones, except right there's a road on one side, right there. And on the other side, there is an airport runway. Here. And I'm stuck in the middle with you. Hammock is drying out awesome. I was originally going to do the cot with a little tarp over top of it here, but with all the rain, I had to change my angle of attack so that I could stay comfortably dry and cook under here without too much of an issue. And this is beautifully stealthy to use in a situation like this. Obviously, time for step 2. Today's is a Wingman by Ace Brewing Company. It's local-ish. Perfect. I don't have to be too stealthy cracking a beer over here, other than that walking trail. So this one's a pale ale. This airport seems to be the type that's only active during daylight unless there's an emergency. That really works good for me. Logs taking off and landing when I was in that pub. So I haven't seen anything out here yet or heard anything, but I really didn't want to stall and miss having a pint at the pub. If I knew I could count on that pub to be open, I would have had some dinner there, but I brought some food with me as well. We'll get that cooking in a little bit, and they've turned on some pretty big lights at the airport here.
Order Arby's $6.99 Big Crispy Fish Meal and upgrade to a large fry and drink. Or order crispy chicken, because options. Arby's, we have the meat.
Before I could use my mind to move a submarine,
Commencing emergency blow.
before I knew I was different. Before I understood what nuclear truly meant. That struggle makes you stronger. And that inspiration is everywhere. Before I could do any of this, I had to be born for it. You can be smart, or you can be nuke smart.
All conditions normal.
Still really windy, not a lot of rain, but a lot of wind, and that's okay. Hunkering down here, it's cozy, I don't want to be walking around too much because there's that trail right there. And if somebody sees me, things could really take a nosedive. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. The runway lights are on. I thought they only did that if there's a plane coming from what I saw so far. Let's check it out. Those weren't the runway lights. They were just normal street lights I thought were the runway lights. And I'm losing my excuse pretty fast here. If somebody asks what I'm doing. Normally in the daytime, I can say, I'm a big fan of aviation. I hate aviation. I'm scared of flying. But if anybody asked, I would just say, yeah, the Cessna. Everything's a Cessna in these airports. You're going to buy it. I got a new flashlight specifically for this trip. I'm not going to talk about the brand or anything like that because I'm not here to sell flashlights. I'm here to sleep beside the airport. But it's controllable from my phone. So I can go like bright or not bright, or I can change the color, etc. So this one actually does what a lot of people talked about, which is a red light. Now, I'm going to give a quick reason why I don't do red lights when I'm camping, which seems very smart and stealthy, except that I'm colorblind and I don't see well in red light. So by the time I can see what I'm doing with this light on, it is so bright that the airplane is going to think that's part of the runway, probably. So I don't play with that. I'll just keep it as low as possible. There's green light spectrums on here. I can mess with it quite a bit. And I'll let you know more on this flashlight as I experiment with this a little bit more. But I can put it all the colors of the rainbow, which, yeah, I don't want to signal any emergency planes to land or anything because I'm right by the runway with a fairly bright light that does a number of colors. Okay, it's dark, which leads me to my next point, the ever so dreaded stealth test. And I got a unique system today because that flashlight's controlled by my phone. So I can turn it on from out there on the trail and see exactly how obvious it is. You know, this airport is a little intimidating at night because of all the lights they have on. I get the feeling they're not going to see my little flashlight. I have it pointed away from the airport. So from out here on the trail, let's see, I'm gonna turn on the lights and we're gonna see just how bad it is because it's in those woods there somewhere, and I'll just blast it. So okay, I can see that kind of through there. Turn it off. Yeah, turn it on. Turn it off. But yeah, they're not going to see that from there. And going down this way. On, off, on. So there's, you definitely see something if you were looking coming this way in the woods. So again, on, off, on, etc. But that's pointed the complete opposite way. It's pointed right back to the road on the other side. So turn that off. Maybe see what it looks like from towards that way. I am nowhere near the road right now, but if I turn it on from here, full blast in the hammock, looks like that. That's not bad because the road is another 40, 50 feet that way. Yeah, I think we're good. One of the first things I'll do, so I don't forget, I'm going to pack away my empty beverage container here because I want to be a good steward of the environment. this works good. I've got the flashlight stored in the overhead compartment in the hammock. It's fully adjustable. I can turn it whatever way I want, and I'll just point it away from the airport as much as possible. It is still windy. It's getting pretty cold, and I have a sleeping bag, so I think it's time to whip it out. I don't care what they say about sleeping bags. You don't go by the temperature rating, you go by how big and heavy it is. This is going to be great. And I just need to lay this down right now before I start cooking. And I have to wait for maybe the wind to die down, but it looks like the rain's going to start again. We'll figure this out. But so far, it's pretty cozy and pretty good with this thing on. I like this. I got food I want to cook, but everything's kind of up in the air right now because the wind will not stop. And my little camp stove is not going to work precisely as I want. It's a whirly bird out there already. Wow, it's like 7 in the morning. Whew. Holy moly, helicopter so loud. Glad they weren't doing this all night. That would have been terrible. All right, time to get up. The best weapon in the stealth camping arsenal is the hammock. So quick to deploy, so quick to take down, very small, etc. Last night I was worried the pitch of the hammock would make me roll all night, but I was yawning already, so I fell asleep pretty quick. Everything looks good here, better than when I showed up. Actually the same as when I showed up, but yeah, I got this one done. Nobody's the wiser. Just like it never happened. So the next video is going to be a departure from the stealth, but that's okay. I don't want to do any spoilers, but it is going to be fun for me. 2 videos lined up, interesting projects, and thank you everybody for watching. Please consider subscribing. My ride is here, and yeah, this was an interesting one. I'm glad it wasn't a busier airport because then I wouldn't have gotten any sleep. But slept like a baby, waking up every hour screaming. See you guys on the next one.
My name is Roosevelt. I always thought that cigarette smoking just messed up your lungs. I never thought that at only 45 would give me a heart attack. I never thought that it would stop me from playing basketball with my kids. Never thought that it would give me a scar like this. And I never thought that it would change my life forever. My tip is, do your heart a favor and quit now.
You can quit. For free help, text QUIT NOW to 333-888.
How do you drive change and securely innovate your development process? Let fans share in the action without sharing sensitive information, and run a digital bank that stays ahead of digital attacks. Security is your job. It's also ours. You need security that looks deeper and a partner that scans trillions of hidden signals so you can see around corners and innovate confidently. Microsoft Security.
Hey everybody, welcome to an update with Steve. Now you probably saw the title and or thumbnail. And it's an update that's good for once, instead of giving you guys tragedy all the time with these updates. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody, and happy Valentine's Day to my girlfriend, Lindsay. She's not super keen on being on camera. She doesn't want to be in my videos. I've been seeing her for over a year now. You came out, you met Crazy Neighbor before he passed. And she's been traveling with me for the last year. And that's why I was going to oddly specific places in Georgia to meet your family and friends. And she's been, yeah, we've been traveling between Canada and US for the last year here. So that's the news, guys. So life's too short to not share it with somebody if you've got that option. So I don't know. Cheers and happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I'll show you kind of where I'm staying right now. I got a friend's place. He's got a suite in the basement, and it's actually a pretty good setup. We got all this snow. So yes, the place is quite nice. Hot tub. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was gonna film a video. It was a stealth one, except this snow. I can only carry very minimal gear for this plan that I have. So I'm just kind of waiting on that. And I have another project out in the garage that I will show you guys. But yeah, let's go in. Hey, Scott.
Oh, hey, Steve. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
What are you filming for?
Yeah.
Hello, world.
Yeah, Scott doesn't have a problem being on camera. He quite likes it. So, yeah, this is kind of the place where I'm hunkering down right now. Very basic little kitchen, fireplace, pizza oven, where I work my pizza magic. I've been kind of perfecting pizzas for decades now. And try Lindsay. Say hello to the world. Yeah, it's a pretty good room. You know, I'm living out of backpacks, etc. We've been living out of backpacks for like a year, traveling around. But there's not a whole lot more to show here. But let's go up to the shop, and I'll show you kind of what the project is now. All right, so this trailer, it's a cheap one from Home Depot. Just put it together here with some help from my friend Dave out here. Comes in like a million pieces with a big instruction book to put that together. And that's why it's so cheap, is you got to do all the work yourself. But I'll be building a camper on this, which is going to be unique, so to say. And yeah, so that's going to be a pretty good video. Kind of working on a bunch right now because I'm going to be going to Georgia again in March. And Lindsay was actually the one for Eagle-Eyed Spotters that on the Step 2 channel on the Amtrak. She was in the reflection, and she hates being on the camera here. She's at least not so concerned that I have to like censor her out. She doesn't mind being on the camera. She just doesn't like it so much. There's some Valentine's shout-outs I'm going to give right now because I didn't have the full video up, and there is a timeline on these things, and a late Valentine's message is kind of cheesy. So these are the Valentine's messages for those out there who have sent them in. And I don't know why I'm so nervous to film this video. I like to share my life with everybody and kind of what's going on, but I'm careful bringing new people because not everybody has built up a thick skin, perhaps. And, you know, I don't know. The internet can be mean. Usually it's pretty good, though. My channel is pretty great. We got some awesome subscribers. And going forward, I'm feeling pretty good. Basically, I've stopped pretty well all my antacid pills. I'm on a pretty good diet. Other than what I eat in the videos, in real life, it's actually been pretty good. Brown rice, takes forever to cook. So I'm optimistic about this. There's something interesting in Georgia we want to film, and Lindsay will be with me on that trip. And there's a couple of other things there I'll probably check out. Then we're back on kind of the whirlwind, get to check in on the acreage. People have been asking about that. Yes, I still have the acreage. And my other friend named Dave is out there looking after garbage and just living out there, helping out on the house. And he helps kind of build some projects too, and work on the tree house, that type of thing. So I still have the acreage, and I don't know really what to do with it. I have to finish it, and I'm getting closer and closer. There's windows and doors now, and all the things that make a house great. But there's still a bunch of stuff missing. Kitchen, and there's a bathroom or two to do, and floors and siding and fireplace, a bunch of stuff like that. So I'll be getting there probably around late March, early April, and kind of like look at the acreage, see what's going on there. And I want to get back onto the projects, the really unique, weird ones. We're like building a railway that me and Crazy Neighbor had thought we were going to build in a weekend. But it's more tricky than you think. So that's on the list. Heading back up to Nova Scotia as well. So there's that, and kind of living out of a backpack. You getting sick of that yet?
No, I'm having a blast. It's so exciting.
And yeah, Lindsay is, she's got a great family out in Georgia. Granny is one of my favorite people that I've met in her family. And happy Valentine's Day, Granny, if you're watching. I've not had a granny since, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've had a granny. So it's nice to kind of have a granny that I can call and talk to. And yeah, that's just a boring little life of Steve. My 1970s motorhome is in the shop right now because after the first real camping trip with it, I found out some problems with it. Power converter doesn't work, which is why the hood was popped, and I had another battery hooked up to the house battery. And I want to get it sealed for weather, seal the roof because it rains here a lot in the winter. And a few other odds and ends, check up the tires on it, make sure everything's in good shape. And then I will be hitting the road with that probably April, May to kind of film another boondocking experience from the one I did in my 20s, like that type of a theme, except now I'm older and grumpier. And we'll see if it's the life for just a young man or if I can pull it off like this for a little while. But, you get used to some comforts in life, not having to turn on the oven to stay warm and all those types of things. So I'm excited about that, and we're just really trying to work on the scheduling. I want to do something on the river. I want to do so much. And as I mentioned before, I cut down pretty drastically on step twos. And if you know what this is, it's or the Canadian version. This is the alcohol-free beer, and you get used to it. It's not so bad. Garbage is doing pretty good. Garbage, my cat, he's a little bitey, and he's actually been bullying Lindsay when we're out there.
He likes his treats, that's for sure. And if he doesn't get a treat, then you get a little nip in your ankle.
Yeah, so Garbage chases her around and bites her if she doesn't give him a treat. So we're going to have to work on his behavior there because that's a little inappropriate. It's about all I've got on the update. I just wanted to let you know about Lindsay.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And I haven't been happier in a while. So cheers, everybody. And stay tuned. Like I say, next actual video is coming. It'll be Thursday. I'll be filming Monday. We're heading off to a hotel to a little Valentine's Day celebration for the weekend. And so cheers, everybody. I don't know. Both of us are so nervous to film this video, and then we started drinking a bunch of coffee and tea, so that didn't help. But yeah, regular videos, we got a bunch coming, and I'm back in a good group, guys. So cheers, everybody, and happy Valentine's Day.
For millennia, this rain has made the same extraordinary journey from
from the clouds above Fiji to a sustainable artesian aquifer deep within the earth. It's not just water, it's Fiji water.
Party! Jim Bob World Tour. With Cole Wetzel, Stephen Wall Jr., McCoy Moore, and Sickerus. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to Camping with Steve. I'm camping today in a vintage 1977 GMC Frontier motorhome. I mentioned on social media that this was the exact motorhome I owned about 15 years ago when I lived in it. And I found one after a long search. And this takes me back. This takes me back. A lot of blind spots here. So we're going to have a nice, relaxing camping trip today. No stealth for me. It snowed and it's kind of cold, so we're just going to stay warm in here doing some winter camping. Here it is, my Sanford and Son style motorhome in all its brown and orange glory. This beauty has 54,000 original miles on it, and it's in surprisingly good shape. Not a leak in sight. It's getting harder and harder to find places that sell leaded gas, so there's this lead substitute that I can add in, because this engine was designed for this stuff. This camper came with a lot of stuff. So we're going to get some stuff set up out here, make it look more like a comfortable campsite, and scare off anybody from camping beside me. This one window got smashed, so it's just plexiglass, but it's working okay. The driver's side door doesn't work, so you have to go in through this one, or you can unlock this and just use this. The charge controller doesn't work to charge the house battery for the lights, so if I want any lights, I have to hook up another battery with jumper cables. Got light already. So this will be a fun time kind of setting things up. It's the first time camping in here for me, and this thing is spot on identical to the one I had. Same year, same wallpaper, same linoleum. Mine didn't have an ashtray, but this is just kind of in here. It's not attached. But yeah, this is a pretty good little rig in fantastic shape, and I'll show you more about that. These seats are in amazing condition. Even the spot right here where the driver would climb in, that normally gets all crushed, but because they're getting in the other side. Now the windshield washers come out in rhythmic squirts. It's not constant like the modern impeller pumps, so that's a little bit to get used to. And one of the wipers is wonked over backwards, so it'll take some work. But it's not bad. There's no leaks. This covered up here by the top bunk has this beautiful amber plastic thing. Looks like where people would keep their liquor and paraphernalia. And even got a board game in there. Mastermind. Never played it, but we'll see. And there's a closet down here too. It's got a little, you can really smell the mothballs. They linger. There is a bar there so you can hang your clothes on. This thing comes with a gravity furnace, which is keeping the chill off. Doesn't use any electricity. The hot air comes out there. Cool air goes in the bottom. It's horribly inefficient. But I'm glad it's not using electricity because we're using that rickety jumper cable setup outside. I need to give stealth camping a little break in this area because even though I've turned down every interview request trying to stay stealthy, they still did this story. So I'm going to have to hit the road here in a little bit if I want to pull those stunts again. But for right now, just having a nice relaxing evening. And we're going to have some fun. We've got a great meal plan tonight, and it is sure cozy in here. I picked a campsite close to the washrooms, right there. Not flush toilets, but that's okay. In the off season, this campsite's $13 a night. You heard me right. $13 a night. And not a soul in sight. This is only a 20-foot long motorhome, and that includes the extension on the back. but it still has a 3-burner stove with oven, refrigerator, of course, and it has a full bathroom with shower. And that always turns into storage, of course. And the top turns into storage as well because it's just little old me here. But this could sleep a family of 4 quite comfortably. Actually, not very comfortably, but it's only 20 feet long. It fits in a normal parking stall. I can take this through drive-thrus. Shelter's set up, and I can think of nothing better to do right now than whip up a quick Harvey Wallbanger. Gonna keep it light because it's a little early in the afternoon. Wish I had some ice. Cheers. It's like an orange Julius. All the little gems you find in a used camper. Little fly swatter. National Geographic. It's tons of storage. Oh, of course. Oh my. There's a mattress pump in here as well. A good bit of storage. A bunch of coat hangers up here. Let's jack it off because it's getting a little warm. There's a black light. Won't be turning that on in here. Given the year of this, the high beam switch is beside the brake pedal by the hole in the floor. And there's a few other things that you don't see these days, which can be modified to work. Cigarette lighter. You take that out, put in a little phone charger, it slides right in. The cassette tape deck, I can use one of these adapters, plug that right into my phone. We got music. I know it works. All right, so if you didn't grow up in the 70s, or at least watch that 70s show, you probably unsubscribed by now. And I don't blame you, but I just wanted to have fun on this one. So we're having a fun little 70s camping trip. It is getting dark. It is getting chilly. I got some food, staying cold out there in the snow. And I'll get a fire going in a little bit, but I'm just going to spend a little bit more time staying warm, hunkering down, and listening to music in my awesome little 70s motorhome. The first 2 things I'm doing to this motorhome are a fire extinguisher and a smoke/carbon monoxide detector. Now, these combo units are all over the place now, and smoke rises, carbon monoxide's a little heavier than air, so that settles. And typically, I guess 2 would be better, but carbon monoxide is only slightly heavier than air. Air is 1.0. Carbon monoxide is 1.06. So it's only slightly heavier than air, and any slight breeze is just going to move it all around through here. So I'm going to leave this right by the furnace because that's what scares me the most in here. And not so high that it's going to catch the cooking over there. Don't just stick it on there somewhere. There's already a screw hole here. Getting toasty in here. Just going to get the fondue started here because it's just an appetizer. I'm not doing a whole big production with it. Main meal is going to be a little tuna helper here. And the absolutely brilliant thing about tuna helper is you don't even have to brown ground beef. Just throw it all in. Just exactly what I like. don't want to use the drain here because it is below freezing tonight, and I haven't tested out the water system in this thing, so storing my extra stuff that I can dump out. Okay. Of course, the recipe says to boil the water first before you dump it in. But I'm sweating like I'm at a disco here. So I'm going to throw it in at the 425 that it claims to want. And I'll start a timer for 30 minutes. Granny Smith apples, some acacia, and cherry tomatoes. Wonderful. Why did this ever go out of style? This is amazing. Wow, that fondue is good. So 20 minutes left on the hamburger helper, and I'm going to go and start a fire. Just use some of the fondue fuel because that should work pretty good. It is nice and cool out here. I can burn off the cardboard from the hamburger helper. I can destroy this little piece of evidence. Oh, you can smell that tuna. It's pretty liquidy. Thicken that up. Thing was desperately needing cheese anyhow. I'm going to stir in a little cheese, sprinkle some on top. Okay, that should thicken. Maybe. It's a little runny. That's all right. I just kind of eyeballed the ingredients. I discovered in the back of the drawer with the ashtrays is this company's coming casserole cookbook, which could have provided a lot more interesting things than tuna helper, but I'm trying to keep it as authentic and lazy as possible. So here we are. Let that congeal, and I'll get to go out and look at the fire for a bit. I have to keep switching between this jacket and my other one. It's either too hot or too cold. But wow, pretty good night. It's a little cloudy. Expecting a little more snow, but it's good to be out here kind of camping. I know this isn't much of a camping trip, but it's so good to have a campfire, and it's so good to get away from reality for even a short break. The main course I'm excited about solidified a little. I don't know why everything is so gelatinous, but yeah. I haven't enjoyed tuna helper since I was a child. So this is a throwback for me a little bit. And if I had to go back and do it all again, I would have explored one of the recipes in that cookbook over there. But fondue was the star of the show tonight. And we'll try to get this smell out of the motorhome tomorrow on the drive. But it's pungent, and I wouldn't do this in grizzly country or anything. Time to relax a little bit, enjoy some entertainment for the evening. Well, if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail and the title of the video, we're heading to an abandoned power plant. I'm not going to labor this hike out there because everybody's just going to skip forward till we get to the power plant. So let's. This was one of my favorite videos. This and river trips. They were just great. There we go. For dessert, I got one of these Jello things with marshmallows in it. Oh. What a time to be alive. It is somewhat satisfying to sit and watch an old episode. You know, I kind of forget how fun it was when I was doing those videos. And it's nice to have that reminder. But I got to take another look at the fire. It is still pretty warm in here, so I want to cool down. Off to bed, guys. Gonna get that set up, and things will be all right. They don't make the asbestos sleeping bags anymore. Oops. These things are in the way all the time. But they don't make those asbestos sleeping bags, which were really good for fire resistance. But good luck finding them. Even Marketplace doesn't have any. But just a normal poly-filled flannel-sided one is going to be just what I need for the night. Got no problem here. Whew. And yeah, it's been a strange evening. Fun one for me. So it's been 3 videos that were a little bit. They were fun, but they weren't the warmest. They weren't the most comfortable. So I'm indulging myself on this one and just gonna hunker down for the night and get out of these shoes. Night, guys. Oh, good morning, my groovy friends. Got a little chilly. I had to rig this up to try and keep the heat in. And that little furnace, like I would say around freezing, around 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. It's pretty much the limit. I can't read the rating plate on it, but I'm guessing it's 10,000 BTU input, which means it might be 5,000 or 6,000 BTUs that it actually produces here. Well, now I really remember all the condensation goes on when you're camping in a motorhome. The little things I forgot about. Because like I got so used to that when I was living in the thing. It was just a part of daily normal life. And you can crack windows to get ventilation. They have those little moisture absorber things that can help as well. But you're never going to get completely rid of it. So getting the engine warm here to defrost this all out and dry out a bunch of this moisture in here. Okay, yeah, I'm all packed up. I forgot just how carefully you have to go over everything. Make sure nothing's going to fly off the counters when you start driving, particularly things like a lava lamp. You don't want a mess like that. So, yeah, it was just a basic, not really camping, just slept in a motorhome last night. But it was a fun trip for me, and I'm going to figure out how to stay warm on the next video because it's going to be cold like this for a few more weeks here, at least, sadly. And I'm really just too old for this cold. So I'm going to put my brain to it and figure out what to get done for the next one, where I can stay warm, stay comfortable, and hopefully the next one should resemble camping a little more than this. If you like this type of thing, please subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. I'm just going to get out of this old campground here. Cheers, everybody.
Forgive me, Father. I think I got away with something I shouldn't have. I got a brand new Hyundai for only...
Oh, the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 2.99% APR for 72 months on select Hyundai vehicles. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Welcome to Camping with Steve. Camping in a dump truck parked on the side of the road today, thanks to Fast Eddie, who was very cooperative when I mentioned camping in dump truck. Surprisingly, he didn't have an issue with that. So it looks like it's broken down on the side of the road. Getting dropped off here, I have my friend Scott drop me off and help me load some camp gear into the back of this. Let's go. Looks like we're just cleaning up garbage from the ditches. If I stand up, people can easily see me. So before I take my costume off, I'm going to set up the comm link so I can get the cameras rolling. And then I'll know if it's safe to pop my head up or not. But, you know, with the high-vis vest on, combs out, people are not going to stress too much if they see somebody walking around in the box of the truck. And I'm going to place the cameras up there as well. These cameras have little lights on them, so I got that covered with electrical tape. So it'll still be obviously a ring camera, but on a big truck like this, I don't think they'll notice. I've got 2 lithium iron phosphate batteries here. I don't need those for just the communication setup. I need those for a cooking appliance I brought with me. Whoa, good morning. That power inverter is on, and it's rated for 3,000 watts. So I don't think we're going to have an issue here. Just waiting for the system to boot up, and later I'll bond the 2 batteries together with this jumper cable. That'll give me the 200 amps I need. Okay, now I got a live view of what's going on outside, so I can take off this costume. Now this is a dump truck, so I don't know exactly what's spilled all there, but I have my suspicions. So I'm going to put the sleeping mat on the cleaner part. Prime example right there was a cyclist biking past, and I knew that I shouldn't be talking if somebody's biking or walking past like that. So I'm excited about the setup. Somebody has just pulled up behind. I've never used one of these smart home security systems before, but it has a nice feature where it will alert you if there's a person So the cars don't set it off, but my phone goes off if there's a person walking or biking in front or behind the truck. So that's perfect. It cuts down on a lot of stress. If only it had a feature, bylaw officer behind you or in front of you. Being that this is a big steel bucket on the back of the truck, it could give off a little coldness at night. Guaranteed certified rated for minus 10 Celsius, 14 Fahrenheit. That means 0 Celsius, and 32 Fahrenheit. Let's be honest. I hear a helicopter. That's the only thing that could catch me, and I doubt they're looking for people camping in the back of dump trucks. A little bit of a clear break in traffic here. Now, if I could stand up more comfortably, this would be my view. But I gotta lay low. I'm gonna be hunkered down here, staying low for the next hour or so, because there are fancy houses to the left, fancy houses to the right. Here I am on a Sunday night, and the sun's gonna set around an hour. Then in twilight, we can poke our head around for a little bit of adventure. In the event of rain, I've got these magnets and a tarp here. I can cover this up quite easily, and these magnets will hold the other end down onto the floor. So I should stay nice and dry no matter what happens. Now that shelter is all set up, it's time for step 2. Now, anything involving vehicles is always a non-alcoholic step 2. Even though I don't have the keys to this, I just don't want to be drinking a beer in the back of a vehicle parked on a road. So, in honor of that, today's beer is one I found at the grocery store called What's the Point? Which basically sums up my channel and the way some people feel about alcohol-free beers. So, see what it tastes like. It's all right, you know? What's the point, though? But this one, big cheers. This is dedicated to Crazy Neighbor. Him and I were going to film this video, but we could never find anybody willing to let us use or rent a dump truck. And he has his license. Crazy Neighbor had his license to drive one of these. And when we explained what we were going to do, everybody got really scared and freaked out about it. So we were going to have it set up with a couple of cots and, you know, have a good old camping trip. But I'm doing it for the both of us now. So also big shout out to Fast Eddie for actually letting me do this in the back of his truck, because it's been a long search to try and find somebody that will let me do this in the back of the truck. So Fast Eddie, he's the guy to go to for all your dump truck camping needs, of which I know there is a high demand for. And also, I got his information from Pioneer Polly, who used this to, he got a whole dump truck load of sand, like Home Depot sand, and found out how much gold was in it. I won't spoil it for you, but there was gold in it. And he's even got his GoPro mount still on the back of the truck here. If I'd known that, it would have made my life a little bit easier. But that's what's going on there. Everything looks pretty calm on the cameras. So I'm just gonna have this delicious What's the Point wheat ale, and wait for the sun to dip down on the horizon a little bit more. I think we're gonna be having a good night tonight here, guys. It's hard to say To me, that looks like a Chevy Silverado, like a white Chevy Silverado, but I'm just gonna have to hunker down for a little bit here until that goes away. Speaking of the restroom situation, you've probably noticed there isn't one. But with the way it's all sloped, everything drains out the back. Kidding. There's a grocery store down the road that is open until 10. There's a Starbucks that opens at 5:30 in the morning. So I'm covered all but for those few hours in the night. So right before bed, I'm going to be sure to go. Now we got a second vehicle that pulled up in front of that last one. The time to hunker down is now. One is leaving, and the second one is leaving. So finally, after a long wait, all those vehicles behind me have drove away. So we got smooth sailing here. Wait for this car to pass. Okay, braking traffic for a little bit. Oh, here we go. I can see all these nice houses over there. See downtown right over there. In the distance is Mount Baker. They're building a bunch of stuff down there by the looks of it. And this is what's going on here. There's some lights along the walking trail, but there's no street lights shining down. So I'll have to use the flashlight tonight. But I think if I'm pointing it down and away from the road, we should be fine. I am getting too old to be cold. So I brought the little buddy heater with me. Should warm things up nicely. Just like so. This will keep the chill off. Okay, things are officially pretty dark here. Gonna need that flashlight right away. All right, now this is what camping's all about. I've got my heat going, I've got my security cameras on, and I'm just kind of relaxing here. I'm gonna start cooking food in about 20 minutes. That'll give me enough time to make it down, hopefully, to that restroom before it closes down the road. And the traffic is still a little bit busy, of course. It's a kind of a main road, and that should calm down a little bit here within the next hour or so. But I can hear some people walking by. All right. Catch you guys in a sec. It's getting a little more quiet. There's another vehicle that looks like it parked in front, and I have heard some people talking, so yay, being quiet and staying still. Okay, I've got the two batteries linked together, and that'll provide me extra power. It's already raised the voltage on the inverter. The pizza oven's going to take about 20 minutes to warm up. That'll get me time to prep the pizzas. Okay, the type of pizza I'm making tonight it's a pan pizza. I know the Neapolitan styles are really trendy right now, but that's beyond my skill level, and I like these ones just fine. So it's known kind of as a Regina style pizza. In Saskatchewan, they're very popular. That's pretty much any pizza you're going to get. Pretty thick crust, loads of cheese, tons of toppings. Dump truck pizza coming up real quick. To add to the point of contention about pizza, don't worry, I'm leaving the pineapples off. The cheese goes on top, and there's a lot of it. It's all actually measured out. That is the amount that goes on a Regina-style pizza. One at a time, and I'm doing 17 minutes because these are heavy. Like that's over a pound for sure. Okay, and that's what that looks like. For those that wonder, the bottom of the crust looks like about like that. There you go. I love throwing fresh tomatoes on because one, you can eat it faster, and two, it balances out the flavor really nice because there's not a lot of cheese on these. Right. Number two. There she is. Now, I can give my poor battery a break because that was a lot of work to do off batteries, but can't wait to dig into this delicious pizza. I have nothing against other styles of pizza. I love Detroit style pizza. Haven't tried an authentic Chicago deep dish. Tried New York pizza. That was good. I get what all the fuss is about. But growing up around Western Canada, this is the type that I kind of grew up with. Normally, these things have a lot more meat on them than I threw on today, but that's okay. For the back of the dump truck, this is right on, but I'm going to finish this slice, try to get out of this dump truck. I don't think I'm going to use that rope ladder. That seems more dangerous than no ladder at all. So I'm going to try to shimmy down and hit those restrooms before they close. And get back down here and get settled in for the night. So that's the plan. Turn that off. I'm going to go over this edge here as careful as I can. I'm just bringing a GoPro because that's safer than trying to get my whole camera over there. There's another step. Okay. Now, I'm sure you can't really see me too well, but it's time to walk down to the store because that restroom is really calling my name right now. Okay. Nicely lit walkway. Says it's about a 10-minute walk, but I really got to go, so I'm walking faster. Okay, that grocery store has a bar in it. That was pretty tempting, but I don't know if it was really the atmosphere I want to sit down and have a drink in. It's neat. It's a cool idea, but that's almost borderline depressing. Well, it got very nice and quiet around here. There's nobody. The good people of the world are back in their beds right now, getting ready for work tomorrow. Smooth sailing, a little more traffic. Oh, and a big hill to go up. This will be fun. Back to the dump truck. All right, mission accomplished. Oh, it's a beautiful starry night. Staying nice and warm by this propane heater. I've only just used one bottle of propane, but I did a little bit of walking and I turned it off when I was gone. So nobody should be coming. See the city over there. Things have gotten real quiet, which I like. The cameras are holding up good. It's got this little night vision feature. I can actually see the back of the truck here as well as behind it. I'm going to try and pack up as much of this stuff as I can that I don't need anymore, because in the morning it's going to be cold and I'm going to want to get out of here as quickly as possible. I got my alarm set for 7 a.m. and I've got my ride coming to pick me up at 8, so that gives me an hour to wake up, get everything fully packed up, and hopefully not be too cold. The tarp set up, I'm glad I did, because it's starting to get windy and I don't want to get blown in the middle of the night. So it'll be nice to have some shelter there, and everything's organized, ready to go in the morning. I've got my gloves and my disguise. So that'll be the first thing I put on. But it's been a fun night. This is kind of a unique camping adventure. And it is dead quiet out here, so I'll put on a little movie or something I can fall asleep to. Turn that guy right off. I'll talk to him and I'm ready for a wonderful dump truck night. Thanks everybody for watching so far. If you like this stuff, please consider subscribing. I'll keep trying to come up with some crazy places like this. In here, it's not so bad. Not a ton of room, but good enough for little old me. Just doesn't get any better than this. See you guys in the morning.
Good morning. That was pretty warm. The sleeping bag was great. I actually had to take off a layer of clothing. The little air mattress here, the sleeping pad, was fantastic. I'm a side sleeper. That was just perfect.
Gotta start packing because I got a ride coming in about a half an hour. I've got to get all this packed up. Beautiful morning. Got my costume back on because, now I'm going to be standing up to get all this done. And obviously, when I stand up, traffic can't see me here. So, it's a great sleep. There's this little angled part here, and right up against my back, that was perfect to sleep on my side like that. So, I'm absolutely thrilled. It was pretty smooth, but there were some scary parts. Definitely when people are pulling up behind and I can't quite see in the camera because
of the exposure with the headlights shining right at the camera. I got no idea what's going on. Cameras I was using are these little Ring cameras. They're indoor cameras. I have some outdoor ones too, but these worked better for the continuous 24-hour video recording. A lot of frost built up on the tarp, so I'm glad I did have that up. You can see all the condensation here on the steel from just my breath probably coming off in the night, and that's absorbing a lot of heat. So this sleeping bag did a good job. Okay, I've got everything loaded up and it's ready to go. Over this side here was really easy. When Scott passed things up, it worked out really good. And I should be able to pass things down pretty quickly. And